Check in with Fox 35's David Martin. Hi, David.
Amy, good morning to you. Exactly 12 seconds ago, the air horn went off this morning inside the Gaylord Palms Convention Center for the 34th annual National Craft Championships presented by Associated Builders and Contractors. We have 200 competitors from all around the country in 16 different crafts and trades competing for money, prestige, trophies, and the honor of being one of the best skilled persons and tradespersons in the country. We will broadcast all morning live from here to show you the excitement of the Olympics of the skilled trades on the 8 o'clock hour of Good Day Orlando.
Am I the only one that thinks that looks really cool? I want to see this play out.
I mean, it's serious when they're doing
when
their
you're stretching and everything else.
And they're like, yeah,
well, when you've got power tools you could be rushing, you better be loose and stretched out as well.
Kidding.
They got the hard hats and everything out there. It's going to be fun to watch. It's must-see TV. Good to see you this morning. It's a Thursday morning. I'm Ronnie in Central Florida showing off their skills. This is pretty amazing.
It is. They are entering an Olympic-style competition. Fox 35's David Martin is live at the Gaylord Palms in Kissimmee for the National Craft Championships. David.
It is the Olympics of the skilled trade, Amy, and it's like watching adults playing with Legos in here. I want to set the stage of where we are. This is the Gaylord Palms Convention Center. For those of you who are local, you may know it as where you go and visit the ice sculptures during the holidays. And this room is where they build the snow slides and the Christmas village. It's just amazing to see the transformation into an arena of Olympic-style skilled trade and crafts. Greg Sizemore here is the Vice President of Associated Builders and Contractors. Greg, good morning to you.
Glad to be here. Thank you so much for coming and joining us.
Oh, we're having a blast.
This is the greatest day of my life. This is when our craft professionals come from across the country, and we're the people that are building America, but they're competing to be the best of the best today.
Well, I'm getting all their numbers because when I build my next house, this is the crew I want.
Exactly. We've got 195 competitors from across the country. They've qualified to come to work here from their regions, from their contractors, and now they're competing for a gold, silver, or bronze placement to be deemed and claimed as the greatest craft professional in their craft.
So to get to Orlando this week, this hour, this today only 6 hours, they had to do a lot to get here. And it's about speed, it's about accuracy, right? It's about what they wear.
Planning, PPE, all of these things go into play. This started many, many months ago. The reality is they had to qualify on a knowledge exam. So that 25% of this overall score today is based on something they've already taken a written exam for. Today is where they take the stuff out of their head and they put it in their hands. This is where you build America.
We are in hour one of a 6-hour competition. You said right now is a lot of the paperwork, the planning, the measuring, the penciling.
Yeah, you say that all the time, right? Measure twice, cut once.
Right.
That's exactly what's happening here. They're going over this with a fine-tooth comb. And understanding the energy here, all of these individuals, when you look at these competitions, have an equal scope of work. They're doing the exact same thing. The reality is they're competing one-on-one with the best skilled craft professionals in America.
This is the sheetrock, sheet metal, or drywall?
Sheetrock, that's where you drywall. Interesting thing about this, you can see angles and things that are happening here, but you know, we think of just the squares that go up on the walls, right? The reality is they've got offsets that they're going to, this is going to be more architectural drywall than just the squares we see on the side of our house.
Beautiful. All right, behind here we have a team competition. Teams of how many are in here?
You have 4 individuals. Now this is what we call our journey level craft competition, right? These men and women have been in the trade for many, many years, but many of them have never worked together before. So we thrust them into teams. You've got an electrician, you've got an HVAC, you've got a sheet metal, you've got a carpenter, and they're all building the same scope of work that all of the rest of these teams are, but they've got to bend their own ductwork. They've got to install their own electrical work. It's all going to be tested. It's all going to be tried. This is where the rubber really meets the road.
This is beautiful. And each category, each trade, including the team competition, each of them walks out with a gold, silver, and bronze medal.
Gold, silver, or bronze medal. So you have to beat out everybody you see inside of the pipe and drape. You've got to be the best. But these 4 individuals competing together will go for the gold, will go for the silver, or they'll go for the bronze. And they'll also be recognized for their safety efforts as well. Are you doing this work safely? So you You can look in here as you get these shots of these individuals in the black shirts as you see them. They are judges that are watching everything that is happening inside of that pipe and drape. They see an unsafe act, they stop it. But they're also observing when they do things really, really well.
All right, in the next hour, Greg, I want you to tell us how our audience can get involved in this next year if we have somebody in our family who does what these guys do. Deal?
Listen, this is the best deal in America right now. This is debt-free education. It is really the way to go in America today.
Beautiful. I have so many more questions, Amy and Ryan. We'll have more of them in the 9 o'clock hour of Good Day Orlando. Greg Sizemore, thanks, my friend.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right, don't go anywhere. The competition continues here. Back to you in the studio.
You can just feel the intensity. I like it, right?
Yes. All right, good stuff, David. He's at Gaylord Palms today. Hi, David.
That's right, home to the 34th Annual National Craft Championships presented by Associated Builders and Contractors, Amy and Ryan. 200 competitors from around the country are here in Orlando competing in 16 different trades for prestige, medals, and honors. I want to show you this cool semi-truck. Paolo, go on inside and walk our audience up into what is really a mobile classroom, a training center, and a chance for even our young people in the country to realize that trade and skilled work is the future. Lots of money to be made here. They bring us around the country and get kids to touch the walls, but it's also training for professionals as well. The real deal. Isn't that neat? All right, we're back in a moment on Good Day Orlando. Don't go anywhere.
Kissimmee for the National Craft Championships. Hi again, David.
Hello, Amy, otherwise known as the Olympics of the Skilled Trades. We are now halfway through hour 2 of the 6-hour competition down here at the Gaylord Palms. It's my extreme honor to introduce you to Greg Sizemore, who is the VP of Associated Builders and Contractors. They're the ones that present the Olympics. How you doing, my friend?
Doing well. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. You call this the best-kept secret.
The best-kept secret in America. This is really where you see 195 unique stories about how people got into this industry. Now these people are making life-sustaining wages, and they've got a skill in their hands that no one will ever take from them.
Not only skills, but the best skills in the country, because these are 200 who have passed regional and local competitions to get here to Orlando.
Qualifying all the way up from their state, a local or regional competition to end up on what we call the deck today to compete against their peers who are also the best in the industry.
Absolutely. You have gold, bronze, silver medals, of course, and a lot of reputation at stake here. Where do they go from here? Because they're already the best.
Well, it's a great story. I mean, this really is the apex of many of their careers. The reality of the average individual today, when they go to do a job, they just do a job. These men and women are now going to have climbed to the pinnacle of being the best of the best, and they've got a marketability and a value proposition that nobody else can compete with in the trades.
You mentioned each of them has a story. I love the story behind this project manager here in the blue. What's his story?
Listen, this young man is a guy that was literally serving our country, and he did that valiantly. The young man, after the outside of the military exit for him, he ended up getting a substance abuse addiction, actually did prison time, went through an ABC apprenticeship program in his New Mexico, where he lives. Now that young man owns his own plumbing company.
Outstanding. So there is a career and a future in this industry for practically anybody who is dedicated.
Doesn't matter where you come from. We take all. This is about the best of the best. Listen, we're going to do construction the rest of our lives. Everything gets built here. You may take it for granted because you don't see it behind the walls or in the ceilings or in the floors, but the reality is on a Friday night, okay, in Orlando, Florida, when your toilet doesn't flush or your water doesn't run, who's the most important person?
Absolutely
It's
right.
not your doctor, it's a plumber.
Absolutely
This is
right.
the reality of it.
And speaking of Florida, in Orlando, we're seeing so much home construction and building construction. Is there a deficit of workers?
Right now, we're facing a deficit of around over 500,000 people. 500,000 humans to get into this industry. And we've got a lot of pressure being put on the system right now because work is now, it used to be in the day, if I had the people, I would get the work. Now you have the work but don't have the people. We've got a deficit. This is open territory for the young men and the young women that are looking for something. The average individual here has gotten a degree, a 4-year degree in electrical, HVAC, plumbing, you name your trade, to be honest with you. That individual is just as critical to our infrastructure in America today, putting in HVAC systems, electrical systems, plumbing systems. That's what's happening in America today.
And they're making money straight out of college.
all right out of college. Upstairs, I told you earlier, upstairs we've got 150 college students up there. These, on average, these girls and boys, these young men, these young women, when they graduate college, they're walking out with a $60,000 or $70,000 a year job, and many contractors are actually paying off their college debt for them. These men and women you see in this pipe and drape right here, they work during the day, go to school at night. A net zero value proposition in the sense that they have no debt walking out of this thing.
If there's a website you can give out for our audience watching right now to get involved in this, maybe for next year's competition, can you give that to us?
Absolutely. You can go to abc.org. ABC, that's Associated Builders and Contractors.org. You can actually put in your zip code, and it'll connect you to one of our 68 chapters and one of the 800 apprenticeship programs that we've got across this country. If you're looking for a way to get in this business, go to abc.org.
You'll be back in Orlando next year for the 35th Annual National Craft Championship.
Next year, we're right back here at the Gaylord Palms. I want to tell you, this place is open to the public. You want to come down and see what happens between now and 3, show up at the Gaylord Palms, walk on this deck, and see who builds America.
I want next year, Greg, for you to give me the winners of this year's competition so we can interview them next year. Does that sound all right?
Done deal.
All right,
Done deal.
They're done at 3 o'clock. You'll know the winners by this afternoon. So come on down, Amy and Ryan, after the show and see the best construction workers and trade workers in the country right here in Orlando. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you so much.
What a great event.
Yeah, it really is.
This makes me feel a lot worse about my skills, for sure. I feel good until I go there. Yeah, they're impressive.